Don't I need... Oh, right. 1, 2, 3. It is still in testing, Mark Raven. We are still testing and still finding things that are broken. Slash not exactly balanced well. Slash not not intended. We're still finding stuff. And when we stop finding stuff, that is where I will do that. Oh look, it's water. Like, oh hey, ah. You. Always at least one tile. Always at least one tile. Oh good, you're still connected. Yeah, that'll be what I want, I suppose. There we go. Trim the ends. Add that. That. And we're good. Am I good now? Just power on the everything, and that's... Inserters? Inserters, yeah, inserters are great. I like inserters. They are very necessary. Slash loaders. Loaders, yeah, loaders would be good as well. I think I shall choose loaders. Because loaders are nice. And allow me to do things without needing to do balance. No balancing required. No belt balancing, lane balancing required with the thingies. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. That'll be by the way, we're totally not building on top of any of this borax. Just for reference, we're totally not building on top of any of this borax. It's we've managed to build just below the termination point of this borax. Ahem. Yeah, that was lucky. That we're just below the termination point of this borax. It's our lucky day. We've just missed the borax. That doesn't need to exist. Auto-saving! See how much quicker things go when you're on game speed 2? That was totally a mistake, by the way, to make that clear. And I'm not turning it off because people aren't telling me to turn it off and, like, not screaming at me like, hey, why are you on 2x? Because being on 1x right now means that it takes longer for you to see things. That's what that means. If you want to see more things, we need to, like, move faster. That's the idea. We need to move faster. Those do hit good. Alright, hook that up to the main part of the network, and that should be all of the everything. Shove it into a thingy, and then I have to decide how the hell I'm going to get this onto a station. Oh boy. You aren't actually hooked up to that. There you go. Also, yeah, make sure that the actual filters have power. And all of this is connected. We shall see how much is still not powered after I actually hook this up. Where is the closest spot? Probably right up here. The lights are on! Have I actually done this properly is the next major point. Just add tar. That would be important. You know? Having the actual tar input. Yeah. Tar is nice. Where is tar? Tar is here, technically, but also here. So that is where I shall go. Oh, one very important point. Before we continue, I made these thingies. These thingies. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. I mean, I could run at, I think 4 or 5-ish is the UPS limit on me right now. There was a brief period of time where I was able to play at game speed 9. And, the UPS was in that range of, like, game speed 9 or 10-ish. It was like 300 UPS plus. It was over 300 UPS. It was like, ooh. Over 500 UPS, actually. Close to 6, like 500, 550, somewhere along those lines. But once I started adding some more stuff to the base, I mean, obviously, that went down from there. Now it caps at like 300, little under that. What is it? Can it hit 3? It's doing 260, so yeah, 4, I think, is now one of my upper limits on the game speed, potentially. But, yeah, over time, eventually I won't even be able to run it. I won't be able to run game speed 2, so we may as well make use of the ability to run at the higher game speed while we can. So Ash. Glorious Ash. So this build converts tar. Oop, and I'm realizing that I have made a major mistake. Error. Error, error. So I will need to move that. Because I need all of this. All of this needs to actually be connected. There we go. That helps solve that. But yeah, this is tar to ash, essentially. The syngas is just a byproduct. And because the tar loops, we get about half the amount of tar back as we throw at it. Just under half the amount of tar back. We want to make sure that we always... I am apparently, yeah, missing something here. What am I... I had a power pole there. I had a power pole there. Ah. And then... What's your problem here? Oh, there's no problem. It's just apparently picking up more than 15 per second. Oh, joy. Oh, bliss. Well, that's a good problem to have. It's moving. It's moving, and that's all I really care about. And I'm getting at least 15. More than 15, apparently. Stack the ash! No. No. No, God, please, no. 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 Ash already has a stack size of 1,000. It would cut it by 5. So the stacking only improves belt throughput. That's all it does, because when it stacks, it cuts the final stack size by a factor of 5. So the actual resource density is the same after being stacked as when it's unstacked. It's only going to change how much you can fit onto a belt. That's the difference, and I really don't think I care too much about this not off, like not sending out all of the ash fully. In fact, it may fix itself a little bit, or at least it's in a state of equilibrium. I would probably say it's in a state of equilibrium. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, yeah, ash with byproduct syngas. What happens when the ash is all backed up? Then I don't have the syngas here, and then I don't really have the borax syngas anymore. We'll get to that when we get to that. I may also void the ash. The excess ash. Then we're voiding the excess of both things, and it runs 100% of the time, all the time, and uses all of my power, and yeah, things. Consumes my quote-unquote limited tar. Joy. Train station is the next thing. Train station. This is a very simple station, so this is actually, yeah, this. And I have the ash on the completely wrong side. Right. The ash is on the completely wrong side of things. This needs to be mirrored. Or I could just suck it up and use more belt. Which I think isn't exactly what I'm going to do. Oops. Yeah, that way. This is such tall sprites. Yeah, it's a very clean edge on this borax patch. It's oops. It's a very clean edge on this borax patch. It's quite convenient. Very, very convenient. La di di da. We are not building. There's hotkeys. There's no of the anything here. Just, you know, there's none of that. That doesn't exist. None of that exists. That is formerly a lot of stone. The location formerly known as Stone. Do I have this blueprinted? Not there, apparently. Wherefore art thou? Oh yeah, I made this thing. By the way, I made this thing out of pieces of the modular rail system. That the the right-hand drive modular rail system is what I use. By the way, just for reference, that's my rail blueprints that I use. But I made this one. This roundabout, quote unquote, is basically four of the existing Ys. These. So it's four of these with a little bit of rail connecting to make the actual circle in the middle. That's the only thing that I did manually. The other stuff is just four of these Y splits with that little extra bit in between, so the trains can go in and then out in any of the three directions that they want, and they can go straight across, they can go to the left, they can go to the right, no matter what direction they're coming from. And I am pretty sure it's all signaled correctly. It's just a little bit on the large-ish side. It's a little bit on the large-ish side of things, but yeah, it works. It works. RSO, yes, I have RSO. Resource spawner overhaul. Where did I leave? Did I put it in here? For some reason. Doesn't look like it. Huh. Where did it go? I wonder. So this. Let's go and grab you. Oops. Yeah, this is what I want. RSO explains clean edges. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's just go with it was RSO. Gives me nice clean edges on my ore patches. Nice, beautiful, clean edges on the ore patches. What is the alignment? Oh, that's the alignment. That is the alignment. Oh boy. Trim that back a little bit. Just a little bit. What did I add it to again? What did I just add that thing to? Where did it... No, I put you in a... I thought I... You? You. There. You. There. There. Right there. Build the thing. Where's my car? Vehicle! This is just a very simple input station with a small waiting place and a small depot. For reference, nanobots have full access to everything in your car, in your vehicle's inventory. So even though I'm not carrying any rails, nanobots have access to all of the rails in my car and are able to place all this down. Looks like I am out of chain signals. That is annoying. Must have more chains. Actually, I have to fix this. Yeah, I know that point, that 18.4 dropped. It's apparently also fine with the Pi suite. I need to change those to chain signals. Oops. I need more chains. More chain signals. In terms of which gets used the most, by the way, chain or standard rail signals, for me, it's actually somewhat even. I use more regular signals when laying long lines of track on the actual track network, but it's a lot more chain signals in the stations. That's the thing. Carbot thing? What? Huh? No, the nanobots mod. It's always done the thing with the car. It's always been able to access your car's inventory. If that's what you're referring to. That has been that way for some time. Since I've started using it. Since I've been using nanobots anyway. Yeah, so 18.4 dropped. Apparently PySuite is fine, but some other mods are broken. We'll find out! Alright, you've got too much health. Oh god, that's a lot of stuff that needs to die. Horrible deaths. Goodbye, giant. Another one. I need to like just clean the map at some point. Just like go around and just destroy everything. Destroy all the thingies. So yeah, you should be these. And the reason why I changed this, by the way, is the way that the behavior works, I want the trains to stop here before the bend. The way that I had it set up is that they would actually come in and they would stop at the chain signal here, down here, and wait, even if this was a regular signal, which is not what I wanted. I want them to wait here. So I have to, like, do that fix. These are all still required as far as I'm aware. And yeah, same general thing here. If I want the train to wait like in line with these other things, then I have to do this way. So this is going to be our ash depot. And our ash station 1. And it will get its ash from over here. Now, here's the thing with ash. Again, if you hadn't been paying attention with the ash, it has a stack size of 1,000 units. Which on the one hand is good, on the other hand that's scary. Especially with something like this. Oh, do I have any more cargo wagons? Probably not. Probably not in my car. No extra cargo wagons. I'd have to go get more. But we'll manage. I'll need to power this and assign, be like, hey, Ash Station, Ash Depot, full cargo, circuit condition, have some fuel, do the thing. And I'll have to limit the stuff. This should not be chain. It is red when this is here. And all these should be red. It's fine that this is a red signal. There's not enough base. I mean, I don't think this particular signal matters. But I can see if this is chain, this would stay red if this guy goes into here until it passes these. Maybe? I don't know. It's like that seems like a very small optimization. Like that's a very, very small optimization. Because it gets broken right here anyway. Like it gets broken right here anyway. Once the train has cleared this distance, like this distance, once it's cleared here, it'll allow the next train in. No, not all three. They won't. One, it will allow only one at a time. It's, as far as I'm aware, it is smart enough to know and only have one at a time. But I haven't seen this at scale happen. So we shall see, and you need to be limited to like no more than 2 stacks. No more than 2 stacks. Otherwise, it'll take hours, literal hours, for this thing to fill up. Go ahead and get your fuel. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that the game is smart enough to only send one at a time. Whatever one is closest, I would imagine. But here's the other thing. I will have at most 2 trains going into this station. So really I only actually need I don't even need this at all. This whole thing here. This isn't actually required because I'm only going to have 2 trains here. I only actually need this if and when I get more than 2 trains to sit in my yard. Whichever one arrived first, okay. So that, yeah, it's still only going to send the one through. And now it has it has all the fuel. Speaking of which, I haven't actually talked about this at all. The fueling. This is the fueling station. This is the fueling station. It's pulled off of some of the coke on my coke supply station. It's got its own little waiting place. Again, I have to fix some of this because they're... So the way that this is currently working is they're going to all sit here and here and here and here when I want them to sit back here. So I just have to make these chains and kill these and place them here. But yeah, the trains load here, and this specific fuel stop needs to be called Fuel Stop 1 because my trains have 1 locomotive. If they had 2 locomotives, I would have Fuel Stop 2, and then build it to have the 2 locomotives. But since we have 1, it's Fuel Stop 1. That is a train supply manager thing. It very specifically needs that very specific casing and that very specific name for it to work properly when automatically assigning trains with a fuel value available below a certain threshold to go to the fuel station to fuel up. And I guess I could have as many of those stations named Fuel Stop 1 as I want. I could have these everywhere, and it'll just go to the closest one when it wants to fuel. So, yeah, things. I only had the two thingies, so this will just sit as one. Age of the schedule? Possibly. Possibly. Anyway, with half an hour left, let's do what I wanted to get done today. Let's do Ulric. Hey, we'll work on Ulric. We've officially got as soon as I do this, ash, done. As soon as I do that, we now have everything that we need. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. So go back. You or you. The one that's the not salt. You pin that so we can get a good idea of the things which we need. The things that we need. Now, I have gone semi-complex. It is not as complex as it could be, but it is still quite complex for my choices here, because there are several choices for phalange. I'm choosing a very simple recipe that does not use phalange, that does not use substrates. This could be a lot simpler. All this for bone meal? Cough, cough? Yes, but it could be a lot simpler. And it could be separated out into separate factories. My point here, by the way, this is King. This is the icon issue that was brought up by 2080. This is the icon issue brought up by 2080 right here. The icon for the wood out of logs recipe. That's the icon issue. Anyway, it's because I'm doing the cages locally that I need solder. It's because I'm doing the solder locally that I need the lead and tin and tar, technically. It's because I'm doing Ulric base food locally that I need all of the things to make the Ulric base food as well. It's because I'm doing wood locally. If I do the wood fully locally for the wood seeds, that explains this. So if I built the wood locally, I would need to do like all of this other stuff. But I'm not. What was I? Oh yeah, that coarse fraction moss. Yeah, that exists too. So we're just gonna do all this, right? We're gonna do all this, and we'll be good. And this is all going to start with defining an area with which to build all these things. That's first step. Ave, welcome. You're here for the last half hour of the stream where we're actually going to start doing the whole point of the stream. We spent the first 2.5 hours making lead plates and adding it onto my network of trains, my train network. We spent the first 2.5 hours making lead plates and making ash. Just dedicated ash and lead. That's the whole stream thus far. Those two things. But now we're going to get into the whole point, which was Ulric to bone meal, and I will attempt to finish this off screen, but we shall see what I get to of that. So this is a few buildings. Where's my car? Where is my vehicle? Vehicle? There it is. Right next to me. As usual. So I have a choice here as well. I could either build all of this infrastructure on the wood production, Or I could just import the wood. Or I can just import the wood from the main bus. And I want to, like, avoid doing that wherever possible. So I think we are just going to build all of the things. Just build all of the things. For now, I'm going to get rid of like all of the train-related stuff from my inventory because we're about to do a lot of like building logistic stuff rather than train logistic stuff. I am going to need to have some train logistic stuff because there are inputs here that that I'm going to need to bring in. I'm going to need to bring in tin and lead and ash. I'm going to need all of those things as inputs with requester stations and all that good stuff. But most of the stuff I am making on site. So this is good things. This is good things. I just need to make sure that I'm only carrying the specific buildings I need. And there's a lot of them. Do I need washers? No. Do I need soil extractors? Yes, technically, I think. Am I doing anything with limestone? I'm not, actually. Yeah, I'm not. Alright, so I don't need any of those. Nothing at all with soil. Wow. Wow, that's nice. Let's see. Yeah, just get rid of some of these raw resources as well. If I get rid of the combinator, I'm never going to remember to grab it again. That's the other thing to take into consideration here. So I have 20 of the ulrics. I need 73. Actually, you know what? We're going to do that last. That's like the last thing, is the ulrics and the slaughterhouses. We're going to start all of this from the beginning with the wood and the moss and the Augs and the Relesia and all that good stuff. Because remember, it's going to be 4 times 15. Oh, wait, do I... Oh, that's the other thing. King. I don't think I can even do this right now. Until you fix the stuff. Do I even have that Relesia recipe? I do, thank God. Okay. Phew. Phew. I do. It's Relesia 6. How does this look, by the way? Yeah, it's the 2 and the 3 that get messed up, or that got messed up. It was recipe 2 and recipe 3.